What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today, when I talk to you about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list going into this upcoming week. So I'm gonna go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with stock number 5, you do have ticker DFDV, DeFi development, and it's sitting at 34.25. Did go down quite a lot on Friday, down 19.41%, but over the last 1 year it is up just over 2,600%, and over the last 1 month alone up 374. So it does have a lot of good momentum, and I think any stock running up that much, you're going to have certain level of kind of stages of profit taking, and the fact that it didn't actually happen sooner goes to show that there is a lot of optimism when it comes down to this stock. Aside from that though, this is what they do for those of you that care. Company profile, consumer finance, 20 employees, founded in 2018, based out of Florida in the States, but 10.76% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 785,000 shares overall are being shorted. So that's exactly what the market does like to squeeze. Relatively kind of heavily shorted, low float, so it meets that criteria. Cost to borrow average is 358.7%. That's an annual rate, not a daily rate on a side note, but short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 70.18. So all in all, this stock definitely needs to be added to your watch list, and it meets my criteria as well because it does have a lot of good pre-existing momentum. Shorts are rather overextended as well in my opinion, so good recipe for either a very continued nice appreciation or kind of a squeeze. So I think this market right now is waiting for the next big catalyst. A lot of big data points as well coming out this upcoming week, such as GDP, PCE later part in the week. We also have Nvidia earnings after hours Wednesday, all of which could really just push the market to the next level. So again, add this stock to your watch list. And on a side note, these top 5, they're not in really any particular order on a side note. So moving on to the next stock, you do have QBTS. A lot of good momentum over the last 1 month. It is up 176%. Over the last 1 year, up 1,500%, sitting at 1880. This is what they do. I'm sure everyone knows generally what this company does, but based out of California in the US, but 19.95% of the free float is being shorted. Works at the 55.73 million shares overall are being shorted. What is kind of weird about this stock is in the past, shorts have been very reactive to price action. So meaning when the price actually has moved up, shorts tend to double down, try to kill the momentum. That didn't actually happen this time around. So I don't know if you can kind of see based on this. So the stock price has gone up, shorts kind of stayed flat. They didn't really do all that much. So this is, in my opinion, kind of a good recipe for a squeeze in among itself. Short score 67.13. Cost to borrow is a little bit on the low end, so 2.12, and then through IBKR does indicate 4.4 million shares available to be shorted. Reason why I bring that up is in some cases, if there is limited supply, you could see some buying coming from big players in the market. So again, that could happen. Probably not happening in this case on a side note with 4.4 million shares available to be shorted. So nonetheless, this is the stock you need to really add to your watch list. Moving on to the next one. This has been on and off my list for a while now, but ticker is LTRY, lottery.com, sitting at $1.76. Over the last 1 year, it is up 2.06, but over the last 5 days, 5 days alone, up 134.32%. So crazy stuff. This is what they do. I'm sure you can kind of tell based on the title or the company name in general what they generally do, but 19.89% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 2.89 million shares. Cost to borrow average is 379%. Shorts just alone on Friday did increase 230,000 shares, so increasing their position by like 9%. So definitely interesting to see for that. Short score, again, higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is 81.73, and then through IBKR does indicate a measly 40,000 shares is available. So this stock definitely could see some buying this upcoming week. Side note, it is a shorter week, so the market is closed on Monday. I'm sure everyone kind of knows that this stage in the game. But aside from that, moving on to the next one, GameStop sitting at 33.03 over the last 1 year, up 80.29, and then over the last 5 days up 18.26%. So definitely gaining a lot of traction. I don't think this needs any introduction, but in case you don't know what they do, this is it. But 11.49% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 46.94 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow is on the little bit of a low end, so 0.7. And in the past, shorts haven't been very reactive to kind of the price increasing. Rather, they've just been maintaining their position for the most part. Again, putting them kind of in a sticky scenario. DTC as well is one thing to really watch with this stock. So very high, 4.51 days. So based on the volume, of course, so you could see a very nice squeeze. And if so, they are very, very overextended. Short score 67.73, and then through IBKR does indicate 3.3 million shares. So you might not see any like buying or anything like that. On a side note, I don't really bring up FTDs, but there has been a abnormally high increase in FTDs with this. So again, if you're one of those individuals that believes in naked shorting and all that stuff, this stock definitely has that attribute as well. And then moving on to the last one, ticker is KVYO, sitting at 33.49. Over the last 1 year, it is up 41.49%. And then over the last 1 month, up 25.97. This is what they do based out of good old Boston in the US. But right now, 11.36% of the free float is being shorted. Worked out to be 10.25 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow average, fairly low. DTC is pretty good at 4.61 days. Short score, 50.7. And then through IBKR does indicate 1.4 million shares overall are being shorted. So this is your top 5 to add to your watch list for this upcoming week. Again, a shorter week, but I feel like everything is there on the table for the market to really move to the next leg up. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that, I appreciate all of you watching. Hopefully everyone's having a kick-ass weekend. And then if you are looking for some buy signals, pop over to my Patreon, link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.